Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews, and today we're looking at Black Clover chapter 71. So I look up because the mic, I don't want to headbutt it, but anyway, so the chapter itself is relatively simple, nothing crazily intricate happens, but it does add that solidification towards the climax of this battle, as much does the intro of the chapter really kind of confirms. So we're pretty much kind of winding down at this point. Let's just go over the summary of the chapter and then we'll get into things that I want to talk about anyway. So first things first, the slash that hit Veto last time pretty much did not finish him, which is to kind of be expected, bearing in mind he's got this type of reinforcement magic, kind of like a gun type of character that extenuates his current abilities, his physical abilities, recovery, reflexes, speed, and so on and so forth. Now, by having that sword in him, he's able to hold on to Asta, breaking his arm in the process. Then he's going on about bragging about how he let himself get caught, which is fine. However, Asta still does not give up, and he gets pulled back, and they go for one final attack. Vanessa using the strings to kind of keep his broken arm intact, which is crazy when you think about it. He's only a kid and his arm's been broken in a fight, completely shattered. Now, because that sword is in Veto or Vet, whichever, I like to call him Vito because it sounds Italian and gangster, he realizes, he kind of snaps back into the reality and he says, oh, I can't keep up with this kid. And it's because the actual magic that kind of reinforces and it kind of amplifies his abilities isn't really kicking on full cylinders because the sword is draining his power. So the final attack does hit. There's a few things to bear in mind. It was kind of a Nakama power type of situation where the motivation of all his friends not giving up is what pushed him further. Secondly, it was through the help of his friends Vanessa and Finral that he was able to do it. And thirdly, it looked like Veto Vet broke mentally in that fight, because he even referred to Asta as a despair-eating demon, which is important because of the Black Clover, and it kind of lends to an idea of a few different things. But that is the end of the chapter. Okay, so the chapter is pretty much that. So what's only left is extraction. So what happens next, or what potentially can happen next, is like mentioned before, someone could come for Veto. This manga isn't really the type of manga so far that really kills people in such a way. It more is the more of the situation of leave for dead or take hostage or take a prisoner. So I don't see anyone from the good guys really killing someone so early into the story, because it would be way too grimy and grey for that. If it's the bad guys, yes, no, there's a flashback with people potentially dead, but there's probably more to that. So someone's probably going to come for Veto at some point. It might come straight away and just get him now. Or what might happen is Asta and the crew might get the stone, which will set up another arc for that. And then basically, the character that's trying to be someone else, I think he's called Liar, the guy who can copy magic. I think he may potentially be the one that's basically comes for him later, which probably is to do with the arc and infiltration and all that malarkey. Anyway, so a few things to bear in mind, things to consider. So a few things that have been going through my mind. Number one is the idea of the sylph. So I did incorrectly refer to it as a sylph and different types of elemental sylphs. They're actually referred to as just elementals. The four elementals are, of elements I should say, is fire, wind, water and earth. I was under the impression that because we were going to a water temple, we would have Noella getting a water sylph. That doesn't look like it's happening at the moment, but I could definitely see it happening in the future. And the only other sylph that's not really been made available is the earth sylph, so an earth elemental. So those are really referred to as elementals. I shouldn't really call them sylphs, but I do. So if I do make that mistake unconsciously or subconsciously, just let it go. I know I'm making a mistake, it happens. Anyway, so I'm hoping to see them at some point. We didn't get that quite now, so I'm hoping that we at least get an arc at some point where they have to go underground, maybe mining type of situation where they're going to a mining world where there is an underground earth-based sylph or earth-based elemental. So I want to see that at some point. They do take him hostage. I do not want them being killed, but I think they'll probably get some type of clarification on the guy pretending, or the guys being someone else. First thing comes to mind is the guy that manipulates minds in Clover Kingdom, who the king trusts. I believe he's the one that is liar, and pretty much they push the blame onto one of the captains to avoid. I believe being that he can control minds, he's also able to manipulate that guy's mind, so he was able to do those actions which push the blame that way, which effectively means they're not looking at anybody else. So that is something that's an important storyline to bear in mind throughout the remainder of the story until it becomes exposed. At that point, then we can move on. So keep that in the back of your minds for the rest of the story. So we're hopefully winding down this water temple. What happens next? A recovery arc would be nice because we want to see them have that recovery. And it's also important to bear in mind they mentioned Yuno. What's going on with Yuno? Could Yuno have already been at this water temple and took the magic stone or item? Or will we see him on the back of something that he's come back from a major kind of test, or at another point in time? I really want to see Yuno because I really want to see both of them developing, kind of like a Sasuke Naruto situation, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. Relatively simple chapter. My few thoughts at the end. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, I greatly appreciate the conversations, the communication, the involvement in any kind of my videos, so please continue to do so. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.